2 years after it premiered, Loki has returned for a second season.
A little over the top, don't you think?
And yes, all of our favorite MCU heroes and characters are back for this second season. First, of course, we have fan favorite, and who doesn't love him? Tom Hiddleston returns as the God of Mischief, Loki.
I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose.
Now, we have to acknowledge that this isn't Loki to remember from the Infinity Saga. That Loki was a little bit different than this Loki. This Loki is actually a variant that was snatched out of time and is existing in kind of a pocket universe called the Time Variance Authority. That's all convoluted, but this Loki is very different than the Loki that was snatched out at the end of the Avengers, because he watched what happened to his life and he got mopey.
Remember this place. Home.
But now this new variant of Loki has a whole new purpose in his life. Is to track down a variant of himself who's causing problems for the sacred timeline, and he's teamed up with another classic Marvel character. Yes, that's right. He's teamed up with Mobius M. Mobius.
I'm Agent Mobius, by the way.
Yes, Mobius M. Mobius. You remember him? He was in 9 comic books. Serious. I went and checked the Wikipedia. He's in 9 comic books. This is a character. Second character. Main character in this whole show. But, he's played by Owen Wilson, and let's be honest, he's just kind of playing Owen Wilson.
Wow.
That's okay. We like them both. They're both good guys. Who else is involved in here? Well, of course, we got Ravonna Renslayer, who's played by, I don't remember her name. I just remember her as Martha Jones' sister from the 3rd season of Doctor Who.
Hello. Tish.
There's also Casey, who Loki met at the TVA. And, why is Casey important? Well, apparently he keeps extra Infinity Stones in his desk drawer.
How do you have these?
Oh, we actually got a lot of those.
Yeah, some of the guys use them as paperweights.
And completely destroyed the, whole 10-year arc with just Infinity Stones being worthless. We also have the reappearance of body positive time cop named B-15.
Appears to be a standard sequence violation.
And of course, we cannot forget the bad guy of this whole series, Jonathan Majors, who, when he's not busy breaking up fights between teenage girls out of high school outside of an In-N-Out burger, or when he's not busy making required court appearances for allegations of domestic abuse, again, pointing out just presumed innocent until found guilty by a jury of his peers. Still presumed innocent. He is playing He Who Remains.
She's still calling me that. Creepy. Right? I like it.
Who, as you will remember, basically said he's the person who wrote the entire sacred timeline. No one had any free will. It was his own writing that came up with everything that happened in the MCU we've ever seen. No one did anything on their own. But also, don't forget, he's the big bad guy for the next multiverse saga. He's Kang.
I am king!
And if that cast of returning characters isn't enough for you to get excited about this show, we have, a triumvirate of women who are apparently in charge of the TVA Time Council now. I don't care. But, we also have recent Academy Award winning actor, Ki-Hu Kwan.
Wow, holy smoke! Crash landing!
How can you not remember that he's short around? But here he's playing a character named Oribus, or as he's also known as.
Ouroboros.
But he calls me Opie.
Yeah, I call him Obi. That's like a nickname I have. Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget the best character of them all, the one who shines above all, the variant of Loki that puts all Lokis to shame.
Because that's not who I am anymore. I'm Sylvie now.
That's right. She's Sylvie. And she is great at everything.
I taught myself.
You taught yourself that magic?
Yeah, I did.
Hell, even Loki acknowledges how great she is.
You did it on your own. You had rings around them. You're amazing.
But the real big question is, given what has been happening with the MCU, given how the movies and TV shows have been received lately, can Tom Hiddleston, playing fan favorite character, can he rescue the MCU?
Your savior is here!
Based on this hodgepodge mess of a first episode for season 2, no, he can't. I've watched this, somehow forced myself to watch this twice. I've read 2 separate Wikipedia articles on this, and I'm still not certain what the hell's going on. There's like 40 minutes of Tom Hiddleston running all over the place, and in the end, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I've watched some of these reaction videos, and everyone's, ooh, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, did you see that? And I'm like, I don't know what you're reacting to. This is literally like monkeys typing on a typewriter, and they're never going to write Shakespeare. I don't know what the hell they're writing here. I mean, this picks up where we left off last time. Loki, reappears in the TVA, and he's being chased around by everyone because they don't remember who he is. Well, it turns out, I guess he's time slipping between time. We see him being torn apart as it's happening. Apparently, all the timelines are like diverging, creating new timelines, and things are going wacky. Ravonna Renslayer's not there, so there's a new, council of TVA leaders, which is basically like a triumvirate of women and some dude kind of just snoring in the corner. Loki shows up and explains to them what's going on, tells them who he who remains is, Kang, and how he's been running the TVA, running everything, erasing everyone's minds, and that they have to stop him somehow. And Loki's still glitching back and forth. I honestly don't get what's happening here. The bottom line is, as they decide, we need to stop all this, which I guess involves pruning timelines, which would be wiping out universes, which is a pretty severe sanction.
Who wants to murder trillions?
Yeah. Guess we're going with that. Loki keeps slipping in and out of time. It's tearing his body apart, and they need to figure out how to stop it. Along the way, he's talking to Mobius about all this stuff, and he's talking like, I saw you then in the past, and then I saw you in the future. And Mobius is like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no past and future in the TVA. It just is. And then they go to Ouroboros, who's played by Ki Kwan, and he's called OB. And we kind of learn that there is a past and present and future in the TVA. It's just everything's being erased. And this is, again, sloppy writing when you don't understand time travel. Time travel is not an easy thing to write. Even before they admit that there is a past, present, and future in the TVA, when they're in the mindset that everything is as is, it's all present and existing, they're using past, future, and present tense back and forth.
Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed then.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
It's a mess. It's really tough to follow. But at this point, we have to save Loki somehow. And of course, Loki wants to go find Sylvie because Sylvie is very important. The TVA also wants to go find Sylvie because Sylvie apparently is causing all the problems since, she's the one who killed He Who Remains. So they come up with this plan for Loki to stabilize himself. And I don't get it. So I'm literally just going to read what it says and tell me if this makes any damn sense. The plan is to have Loki prune himself using the temporal ore extractor to pull raw time, such as Loki, out of the temporal loop, which refines it into a physical timeline. If all fails, Loki and Mobius risk spaghettification. I'm literally reading this, and severe desquamation, respectively.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
So this plan basically involves Loki trying to prune himself at the exact time when Mobius is walking out towards, the time loop with what appears to be a giant Hoover on his back. I guess he's sucking in the time, and when Loki prunes himself, it's all supposed to be fixed. It's all supposed to be very dramatic. Can Loki do it in time? There's a phone ringing for some reason. He's distracted. He doesn't have the pruning stick. Suddenly Sylvie shows up for some reason in a doorway, and then he's pruned from behind right at the last minute, and they're back in the TVA, and he's no longer time glitching, and that's the episode. And that was 40 minutes, and what the hell happened? I don't know. I have no idea. But in the end, Sylvie shows up. She walks out of a time portal in Broxton, Oklahoma in 1982. Now, fun fact, for people who actually remember reading these comic books back in the day, Broxton, Oklahoma was near where Thor recreated Asgard during the Siege storyline. Anyway, Sylvie just kind of walks out of what appears to be like grass pasture and into a McDonald's in 1982. And it literally looks like a McDonald's in 1982. I guess they had some sort of promotion going on or some sort of marketing thing. It is a freaking McDonald's in 1982. And she looks around and she goes, I want one of everything, because guess she's really hungry. And that's the episode.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
This is only 6 episodes. They've wasted the complete waste of one episode. I mean, just a bunch of filler crap. Long exposition, which makes no sense. Time travel stories, timeline stories, these type of things, they have to be well thought out to make the audience believe them. And I don't think they did it here.
Well, that's a swing and a miss.
This is all supposed to be part of the multiverse saga, but it's failing. They've not set this up well, and I can't imagine this is going to set it up well either. I guess they have 10 million views in the first 3 days of it premiering, and they said it's the second biggest one this year from Marvel. I'm sorry, for Disney Plus, D+. I think Ahsoka may have been in front of it, but those numbers pale compared to what the original Loki did. But that's when the MCU still had credit and goodwill from the Infinity Saga, from Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth creating the stories that we loved. The real Avengers. The real heroes. And now we're left with this. A patchwork, a mishmash of characters that don't resemble anything anyone wants to watch. And The Marvels comes out in 4 weeks. Questions, comments, witticisms down below. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. I'll see y'all later.